Hi you guys, so I know this is random, but I'm trying something new. It's going to be kind of like a vlog style. I decided literally right now that I'm going to do it. I'm on my way to the Asian market and I'm on my way to go get mushrooms. So I decided, because the Asian market has a ton of different kinds of mushrooms, that I'm going to pick up various different kinds and cook with them. And I'll put it all in one video because all of these different mushrooms have different flavor profiles. They taste different, they have different textures, so let's get on it. And so the Asian market that I'm pulling up to is called the 99 Ranch grocery store. So listen, I don't know if you guys have one of those, but they got all the mushrooms, okay? Another thing that I'm quickly going to note is that you don't have to buy mushrooms organic. They are not on the dirty dozen. But I mean, of course, if you can get them organic, get them organic. Okay, here I go with my mask. I wonder if you guys are going to be able to hear me talk when I'm in there. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. So here we are, I got my little basket. So look at all these mushrooms here. We have all of these. We have the shiitake, the wood ears, white beech. The girl is gonna grab a little bit of this. We gotta eat. Here, you guys know about the portobellos. I got everything I need. Okay guys, finally was able to take that off. But I got $20 worth of mushrooms, different kinds. So I'm excited for us to experiment with them. Like I said, I've already cooked a lot of these, but it'll be fun to cook with them again and do some taste testing for you guys. Hi guys. Okay, so today we're doing something new. I went to the grocery store and I bought a ton of different mushrooms, and we are going to go over a few of them. A lot of exotic mushrooms or mushrooms you probably have never tried before, and we are going to cook them and I'm going to taste them with you guys, let you know what I think, and also tell you like what they would taste best in and how to cook them and all of that. And also we'll go into what they taste best in and what most people cook them in. So let's get started. Okay, so the first mushroom that we are going to talk about is this one here, the wood ear mushroom. It looks like this. It's super like squishy. It is so weird feeling, and I've only had it one time in my life, and I made it when I was in Bali, and it's really popular in Eastern Asia. It has like a really jelly kind of consistency, kind of tough. It smells a little like seafoody a little bit. These tend to grow wild on trees, so they're not cultivated, but they're very, very popular in like Chinese cuisine for stir fries, salads, but that's kind of what it reminds me of. The texture, even when I cooked it, was like a seaweed kind of texture, because they soften up a little bit after you cook them. But these, we will need to rinse them before we cook them, unlike a lot of other mushrooms when you need to just wipe them down. And so I'll give you a closer look here. Like, look how jelly that is. Like, wow. Okay. Next up, we are going to do the Enoki mushroom. These are also known as like seafood mushrooms. They look like this. They have this base here, and then they have these like tops with like a little head on it. So I did my research on a little bit of these just to kind of give you guys a little bit more background. I have tried all of these before, but the Enoki mushroom, also known as a seafood mushroom, has like a soft, buttery texture when it is cooked. And it is also really good in soups. A lot of the Asian cuisines, they like to deep fry them or put them in like a tempura. They become pretty crispy when you're like frying them. And these also grow on like trees or ash. So that's that mushroom. And then we have my favorites, one of my favorites I should say, and that is the oyster mushroom. So that's this one here. We've cooked with this one already before, and I typically love this one for a ton of different uses, like I said, for the kebabs, but pretty much a lot of the mushrooms you'll see, they're used for stir fries, they are used in soups and like deep frying. Like a lot of them are used for all of those. But what I'm gonna do here today is actually just bake them all on, or just broil them all on high, just so they cook fast, so I can taste the texture with just a little bit, like minimal seasoning, a little bit of sea salt and a little bit of pepper. And this way I can really give you guys a good detailed description on how they taste. And in case you didn't know, these are native to the Middle East and North Africa. I didn't know that, but that's cool, right? So that's that one. And then we have the regular oyster mushrooms. These ones are really popular. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about these ones. And so they kind of come in little clusters too. So that's how this one looks. It's the regular oyster mushroom. These ones have become more popular in a lot of the vegan cuisine and lifestyle because of the texture and how versatile it is, and how the texture is very umami, very savory. Okay, so this one I'm sure you guys have heard of because I knew of this mushroom before I even went vegan. But this is the Shiitake mushroom. This one is known as a very medicinal mushroom, especially in Asian cuisine as well. But in almost all Asian food, you'll definitely see the Shiitake mushroom. And so this one is cultivated. This one grows on like a decaying wood. It is also really popular in Eastern Asia. This one doesn't really have any smells or anything on it. This is also a mushroom like you don't really want to like wash, but you can like wipe down. So that's that one. Like I said, I know a lot of you guys have probably heard about this one. It's a very popular mushroom. So, okay, so next up we have the very known popular mushroom, the white button mushroom. This one you can use in pretty much all of your dishes. You can cook them, you can saute them, you can make them in a stir fry, you can put them on kebabs, you can cook them in the oven, put them in soups. They're pretty much in everything. Like we've seen them in everything, right? So this is a cultivated mushroom and definitely brings out like a lot of moisture once it's cooked. And a lot of these mushrooms, you'll notice, bring out so much more flavor when they're cooked. I don't really typically like the taste of mushrooms when they're raw, just me personally. They do bring out a ton of flavor when you've heated them and cooked them though. Okay, so lastly, we have two mushrooms from the same family. So we have the brown beech mushroom. So it looks like this. And then we have the white beech mushroom. Some of these ones are broken apart, but it basically looks the same, but it's just white. Now, these mushrooms are the beech mushrooms, not as in like beach, like going to the beach. These are like the beech trees, like B-E-E-C-H. Never seen one before, but that's where these mostly grow on. And they're also known as like the I don't even know how to pronounce it. They have a lot of other names. But anyways, these, you also want to remove the base of them when you're about to cook them. They're also really good in stir fries, slowly cooked, sauteed, anything. Okay, so for this recipe, we are going to use the oven to cook these because we're just going to cook them really fast. I just kind of want to get a little taste test with them. Literally, I'm going to be really simple with the ingredients today because I literally just want to taste them and give you guys my opinion on what we can use them for. I've actually ate all of these mushrooms before, but I haven't ate some of them in a long time, and I've never actually broiled all of them. So we're just going to check it out and see how it goes. So I just put these wood ears in the strainer and I am going to rinse them. They didn't look very dirty, but just make sure you rinse them really good. Transfer them to this bowl so that we can break them into smaller pieces and cut off some of the hard stem. Okay, so here I have all of the mushrooms in their containers, and I'm going to start breaking them up and cutting off all of the parts that we are not going to use. I'm just taking off some of the hard parts of the wood ear mushroom and cutting them off. And then I'm going to lay them on the parchment paper. Now here you see me breaking up the top of the oyster mushroom, the king oyster mushroom, and for these white button mushrooms, as you can see here, I am wiping them off with a paper towel because we don't want to wash them. So just wipe the dirt off and they should be fine because we're going to cook them anyways. Next up we have the shiitake. I'm just chopping them up and going to put those on the parchment paper. And here we have the regular oyster mushroom. I'm just cutting it up into smaller pieces so that they cook evenly. Next up, we have these white beech mushrooms. As you can see, I'm just cutting off the beginning of the root and then I toss it and then lay them out on the pan. Here again, we have the king oyster mushroom, just ripped off the top, and I just rip these easily with my fingers. It's easier than cutting them. They come apart pretty easy. And here we have the white button mushrooms. I'm just chopping them into smaller pieces. And here we have the brown beech mushrooms. I'm just cutting off the end of it and then I'm gonna lay them out on the pan. So I got some pink Himalayan salt here. I'm not gonna overdo it and I'm not gonna put any oil or anything on this either. This is gonna be oil free. I'm just gonna sprinkle on some sea salt and then I'm gonna sprinkle on some pepper. Now I have some ground black pepper. I'm gonna sprinkle some of that on it as well. And as you'll notice, when these cook, a lot of the juices are going to naturally come out. So it doesn't need anything extra, really, if we're just kind of like doing some taste testing. So in they go. So I'm going to keep an eye on them, but I want to do them for about 10 minutes. We got 4 minutes left. Let's look at them really quick. Oh, got all the smoke. Okay, as you can see, there's a lot of like juices kind of in there already. Let's give them a few more minutes. So we got a few more seconds left, but I'm gonna take them out now because I can smell them. They're ready. Let's see. As you can see, some of them have browned a little bit. So here we have them. They obviously all shriveled up a little bit too. I'm gonna let them cool down and I can taste them. Okay, you guys, you ready to try them? I kind of want to try this black fungus first because I feel like it's a lot different from when I last tried it. I mean, I couldn't put it in the oven. I had like sauteed it. So it kind of looks like it crisped up a little bit. You guys see it? Okay, here it goes. It has like a really, oh, that was interesting. Jelly texture. Like seaweed, but even like wetter. I don't know if everybody would like this. Like I wouldn't serve this to people that have never tried mushrooms, let alone like jelly mushrooms. It actually tastes very similar to like an oyster. It's weird though, because like I can kind of keep eating it. Oh, it's so jelly. I kind of like how when I broiled it, there's like a crispiness to it. I really like that. And it does have this umami flavor. Kind of like a smokiness that sticks with the mushroom. It's pretty good though. I'm not sure how everyone else would feel about it, but it's kind of like once you get a taste of it, you kind of like want more. I don't know. Okay, next up we'll do the oyster mushroom. You guys know I love these. I actually cook these like this a lot. I'll just put them in the broiler and put a little bit of sea salt and pepper, and they taste really good like that. Look how juicy they are. These have a lot of flavor. Like they remind me, like they have so many juices. Sometimes what I do is when the bottom of the pan, or like when I'm done with the when I'm done broiling them, I'll like save that juice and put it into like pastas or dishes because it's such a good flavor. It's very savory, like reminiscent of like a chicken or something. I know that sounds bad. Oh god, I'm making a mess. I'm over here making a mess. The texture is a little more tough though, like when you're biting into it. Okay, that one's really good. I love that one. Super popular. But let's move to the regular oyster mushroom, because that was the king mushroom. So what's cool about just putting a little bit of sea salt and pepper on it is you can taste more of the actual flavor of the mushroom without drowning it with too many spices. This way, when you do cook it, you know what you want to do with it. So far, the oyster mushroom's my fave. It has like a sweet undertone, or sweet and savory. But that's why I think a lot of people use these in a lot of like vegan dishes and stuff, because I mean, I can just eat them by themselves like this too. It's really good. Okay, you guys ready to go next one? I'm gonna tell you my favorite at the end. I'm kind of testing them out first. Oh my goodness, these are really filling because I'm already starting to get a little full. Okay, so let's do the shiitake. The shiitake have like a spongy texture, and I think that's why they're not a lot of people's favorite. And they have like a very earthy taste. I'm sure a lot of you guys have tasted these though, but yeah, it's a very distinct mushroom taste. Like, I totally love mushrooms, so I like them, but I can see why this one wouldn't be like a favorite amongst a lot of people. Okay, now we're gonna do the beech mushrooms. So here you have it. That was a brown one. Those ones are even sweeter than the other sweet ones that I said. They have like a sweet savory with a hint of like a little bit of sourness, but not in a bad way. I wonder if I'm describing that right. Let me try the white ones now. These actually have a lot of flavor. I haven't bought these in a while because to me they seem so plain. I like getting like exotic mushrooms with different textures. But these are actually really good. I haven't had them in a while, like I said. They have, they bring out way more flavor when they're cooked, obviously. Because I've had these kind of raw before and I don't really like them raw. But these go good, you guys know, in pastas and salads and all different kinds of dishes, stir fries, everything really. Okay, next we're gonna try the enoki. Here we go. Wow, those are really juicy. I really like those. I've used some enoki mushrooms before, or the seafood mushroom in tacos, I should say. And they came out really good. Like, I remember I really liked them, and they were super easy because I would just broil them and then I would put a little salt, pepper, and like garlic, and it was all good. You guys, I think I went through all the mushrooms. I'm full and I still have a lot left, so I'm gonna save these for tomorrow. If I were to pick one that was my fave, that's tough. I think the regular oyster mushroom is my favorite as far as like flavor. So I just did really quick in a little experiment. I put a lot of like jerk spices on the brown beech mushrooms, and I actually really like those. The texture of them isn't so chewy, but a lot of you can use these like mushrooms for anything. Some people make steaks out of them, some people make barbecue out of them. Like, there's so many different methods of cooking them that you can use. So I definitely recommend, you know, start expanding your horizons. Go out to the Asian store because they always have a ton of mushrooms, and check them out. Before I end this video, I tried these lion mane mushrooms after I had recorded this, and they are my absolute favorite. They have a softer texture, not as chewy as most mushrooms are, but I just had to throw this in there. Mushrooms are super low in fat, or they don't have any, and they're high in fiber, vitamin D, they have like iron, selenium. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed me tasting those. I hope I was able to give you a little bit more of an expansion on your mushroom game. I definitely think you should try them out. They all had different, like slightly different flavors and textures, and I think definitely, especially if you're plant-based, like expand and check these out, because there are so many foods in the plant-based world to try, and mushrooms definitely keep you full, and they give you that like umami flavor that you kind of miss, especially if you're transitioning vegan. Like for example, me, I do not miss the taste of meat at all, but I do miss sometimes, because I eat so much fruit, I miss like that savory kind of like saltiness kind of flavor, and that's why I get that from my greens or my cooked foods, you know, at the end of the day, because for the most part I eat raw until dinner time, and then I have like a cooked meal. But mushrooms definitely kill those like cravings for just something hearty, and I love that you can add them to salads, to sautés, to soups. You can have them by themselves, you can bake them, you can broil them. Like the options are just endless. And I also love that they're very low in fat, or most of them don't have any fat at all, and you don't need oil to cook with them. You can if you like. The oil may bring out a little bit more flavor, but also like they're high in iron, they're high in vitamin D, and some of them are way more medicinal than others. So definitely do your research on your own too, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.